break down all this bullshit. Gotta break down all this bullshit. Whoa, gotta break down all this bullshit. Gotta break down all this bullshit. Whoa.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bullshit Breakdown. I'm your host, Nick Nubbs, and joining me today is Glenroy, aka New Breed.
Yo, yo.
Introduce yourselves, and also Jordan. Woo!
Hello, it's me.
Papa Jake.
Hey, let's get into it. Episode 3. Every episode we have a question we ask and break it down. Some episodes are discussion-based, some are fun games and segments, but today we tackle the topic of race in America, and does it matter? So, Jordan had something very interesting happen to him at Wawa, actually right before coming here to record this, so let's share that story.
Okay, so I was walking to Wawa, and right before I come over to here, and I go inside, and the first thing that I just see is a lovely SS tattoo on someone's neck. If you don't know,
Oh my God.
you know, get educated, know what some tattoos mean. That's some Nazi shit. And was the only person of color, partial color, to be in the place. And
Yes.
this giggly bastard just look over at me and get a little, heh. And then he went about his business, and I'm just like, "What the fuck, my dude?"
So yeah, so
people
tell
still
the
doing this shit.
so tell the people your ethnicity because they can't see you.
Well, they need to take a better look. I am both black and white. I am the Oreo of the group.
Hey. All right, so little mixed action, and but it's notable. So the guy actually looked over. I actually looked up real quick what the SS tattoo means because I wanted to see exactly
In modern day,
what level of douchebag we're talking about here. Because obviously, if you're,
it's easy to get something that says white power, but thought out getting Nazi shit on you, I don't know.
either
What's
way,
that mean for
just,
you?
Just don't get tattoos and stuff like that. It's real simple. Just,
Get a heart that says mom.
or just a heart that says love everyone, not specific group. I hate you, no matter what the circumstances. I will never ask more questions. Anyway, so this is the SS bolt is a common white supremacist neo-Nazi symbol derived from, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that correctly, Schutzstaffel of Nazi Germany. The SS, led by Hermann Himmler, maintained the police state of Nazi Germany. So if you get that SS blood group tattoo, I'm honestly going to stop looking into it because I give less of a fuck about their stupid ideals. But yeah, I guess this is a good way to start, honestly. So yeah, you're mixed, Jordan.
I am.
I'm clearly white as cream cheese. There's no
Milkmaid man.
2%, no, 100% on my milk. And then Glenroy is obviously black,
Full
but
black. Yep,
full
that's
black.
right.
What?
the mystery's been solved. For years they pondered. No. So to go into this, I wanted to get like everybody's perspective.
Right.
Because race in America is a big topic, and obviously we're only from Jersey, so we can't see all of America. Right. So the first thing, I started looking up different articles, and I went on the HuffPost, one of the things, and I just typed in race in America, and a bunch of different things came up. I don't know much, but I know why Black Lives Matter. Let's stop talking about race in America and have a conversation about racism is one of the articles. So I guess, yeah, let's do that. Let's stop talking about race in America and have a conversation about racism. Do you think that's what's missing? The conversation?
The conversation about racism?
What does that conversation sound like?
I mean,
Trying to understand, you know?
Yeah.
Talk to anyone just to understand their viewpoints. Because you can meet a racist person, and everything could seem to be clicking, okay? Really good person, well thought out about their life. The only thing is, they don't really like Muslim people that much.
Mm-hmm. They just bought into that all of them are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Which is foolish, because obviously it's not true. No, any generalization is usually wrong.
yeah, he said, talk, like Jordan just said, talk about it. And to say pretty much what Jordan just said in short words, just watch the I'm Not a Racist video by Jordan Lucas. That's what I got to say.
Hey, okay, so we're plugging Jordan Lucas again. This is the second
I'm
episode
Not
we're bringing
Racist
him
by
up.
Jordan Lucas. Everything he said in that video is facts. That's pretty much, he was pretty much being the voice for the voiceless. I don't even want to say voiceless. People just don't want to, people don't have the urge to say stuff, actually say those
maybe
things.
not a voice for maybe those that are not as heavily represented.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he spoke facts. Everything he said is it's true. I agree 100% with everything he was saying in that video.
No, I mean, I personally, watching the video, I would definitely say he definitely did a good job of putting it into like a modern context. But at the same time, the argument always is there for like people. You know, I know not everybody liked that video. A lot of people.
Yeah, it got a lot of mixed.
It
got some
on
hate.
that video.
Yeah, it did.
And the reason people are hating is because they just disagreed with what he was saying. So while you say facts, someone else says not facts. So
You know what's funny? I think they know it's facts, but you know they say the truth hurts, man. That's I think that played a strong part in it too. To be honest with you.
Okay, well, I guess a good question to jump off here would be: have either of you ever experienced racism?
Nah, honestly, not me personally.
Really?
No, and honestly, I think I have an idea why. Do tell. Well, I mean, all right. Well, growing up, my whole life, and still to this day, you can probably tell by the way I talk. You know what I mean? Until I just introduced myself as the full black person. Some people listen to this podcast probably didn't even know I was full black. They're probably thinking like, oh, you got a little bit of white.
I don't think
like
white guys have the bass tone that you possess.
You're right. You're probably right.
There's only a handful
That's
of
racist.
Is it? I'm sorry.
partially
No,
right.
you said words. I have to be offended now.
No, you know, you said it. How did you put it, Jordan? You were like, you were talking about the. Yeah.
Okay. So, I don't think racism is the biggest problem that we have.
Right.
I think that the biggest problem that we really have is if you've been on Tumblr or not, and which group you're deciding to follow wholeheartedly and blindly.
So blindly meaning they're just not taking anything else into consideration.
Nothing else is read, nothing else is researched. They just learn about this one thing and they immediately, right behind the fucking cause.
Shit.
So do you believe that these people do not actually believe in these causes?
I think some people actually do, and then some people hear a remotely good idea and are like, you know what? I'm for that.
So, okay, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned...
Bandwagoners.
Yeah, bandwagoners are definitely annoying. In any aspect. If you're not truly behind something, don't act like you are.
Sports got that all over.
Oh, yeah. Well, the whole...
Man, I love the Eagles.
I know, exactly. Everyone swears they're an Eagles fan now. It's annoying.
Not to get off topic, but personally, I've always had kind of I always thought it was kind of funny that people that would watch sports always said, we made it, we did this, we scored, they're celebrating for them. Like, they're celebrating and they made the goal. So I'm watching it on TV thinking how me and this person in this bar are literally the same exact position on their team and their decisions.
No, but they did
this guy just really thinks he's involved.
He did it. He was there.
Yeah, but he just believes heavily he's involved, and now alcohol's entered his system, and he really believes he was involved. So when I come over with mozzarella sticks, he decides to give me an attitude, and I'm just laughing in my head, thinking, "Yeah, no, you have as much involvement in this game as I do."
You definitely did,
which is not a lot. But yeah, anyway, to get back on topic, you know, racism as a whole is obviously an issue.
Yeah.
If you're on Tumblr and you're being a flag waver for all of these different beliefs, like I go on Tumblr all the time. I see more than anything.
I feel like an outcast.
You don't go on Tumblr?
Nope, I haven't been on that in years.
Let me just sum up what it is real quick. It's essentially like
it's like blogs.
porn.
It's like blogs and posts, like for the most part. Like,
yeah. Just think of like
blogging
Twitter,
kinda?
but it's much more visual. It's just all image based.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all image. It's GIFs. It's videos. It's everything. But then there's like whole blogs.
No, I mean it's porn.
Yeah, then
Just a lot of porn.
Then you can stumble upon like erotica and all these different things of like bondage. Let me tell you, Tumblr is a very complicated world.
Shit.
But what
That's
you do
a
see a
fucking
lot
dark
on there. Yeah, what you do see a lot on there is the different groups and all the different movements and inspirations and all of that. And a lot of it seems like, how do I put this? I don't think the people that are making the posts necessarily are involved, but really want to be involved.
Okay.
And don't just want to acknowledge the problem is ridiculous in the first place.
Okay.
Like, okay, so say you're a girl with a dick. Let's just throw it out there.
If you're a girl with a dick.
You're a girl and you have a dick and you don't know why you have a dick and you don't want a dick and you didn't sign up for a dick, so here you are, now you're a girl with a dick. I have no reason to hate you for that. I have no reason to think you're weird. I have no reason, because there's no such thing.
Right.
You know, you're born that way. That's just the way it is. Do I think it's anybody's business? No. Do I think her life is going to be harder? 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I feel bad for those people, and I don't think they want to hear that, but I think that's the truth, and I do.
Right.
There's been a couple people that go on and talk about mental illness in there, and even though this episode is about race, we're really talking about discrimination as a whole and judgment as a whole, and how, I mean, really the conversation is
Right.
it color first, person second? No. It shouldn't be.
No. I agree. No, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
But
you both, the hesitation says
I think
it is.
this day and age, it is. They do see your race first, and then they see your sexuality, then they see what gender you are, and then they see you.
yeah.
My concern is, why do I give a fuck what they think at all? Why does it concern me? Well, if I'm just living my life and I'm living in a certain way and I feel there's nothing wrong with the way I'm living and I feel like there's nothing weird or, sinful or whatever other words people use,
Right.
and someone comes up to me and screams in my face that it's blasphemous, am I gonna go to bed with that thought? Maybe. But if that person never screamed in my face, I wouldn't have had that thought. So I just feel like it's a lot of I don't know. I think a lot of people just really taking things way, way too seriously. That there's a common factor in living in the first place, and that's existence and making decisions and building your own reality step by step. And we all share that. And the fact that we can't get along and we all share that, I think, is fucking insane.
Right.
But race is just another giant. It seems to be such a giant issue, and when I think about it, like to the core of what it is silly. I mean, you're human beings just like I am. There's no reason for me to feel any other way. Yet we have full systems built around regulations here and differences there, and it's like literally you're just darker than maybe we. If there was such a thing as like a super effective tanning machine, I could come out black. But yeah. So I feel like you want to say something, Jordan. You're like,
Oh, I so do.
drop it.
So going off of the, a lot of people are getting offended, or something is offensive to them, and they want to tell you that it's offensive because they think that. But they also think 80 other things are equally as offensive. And I think so many people out there are fighting for so many different causes. What thing is actually what you're after?
Equality, I think,
What the
is
fuck
the
do you stand
general
for if you stand
objective.
for ba 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 ba,
Well, every group I see is aiming towards equality. That seems to be and I'm in full favor because equality should be automatic, in my opinion.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, because
But so many people don't see equality in these groups. They see the extreme point of it.
There's always going to be someone with an exaggerated version of what you believe.
But those are the only ones you hear.
But yeah, because those are the ones that do something extreme enough to end up on the news. But normal people with
Then
normal
who are you
views
really
don't get.
hearing about that movement?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I also think that there is... Okay, here's what I think as far as the slavery aspect goes and the white guilt and all the other very, terms that get thrown around.
Right.
I think what it's come down to is America as a whole has never really come out and straight up apologized and been like, we're sorry we treated you like fucking animals, and there was no real reason to do that, and our forefathers were disgusting pigs. And if people would come out and say that, there'd be no such thing as these movements. I don't think these movements are bad. I think they're aiming towards the question that everyone's kind of been dancing around for a long time, which is, is this weird? You know what I mean? That we kidnapped a race and now they're here and we're all going to act like we didn't. I think that's a little absurd. And I think especially if people on TV were more honest and they didn't perpetuate the image. I also agree that in media they cast hot girls as the main lead. They do that. Mm-hmm. They cast black guys as thugs and drug dealers. They do that. They fit that mold, but that's not reality's mold.
Right.
But they kind of implanted that idea that it is into people. And you're fighting with this person's opinion about a movie they saw, but subconsciously they took this and this from it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's all just built on bullshit, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the bullshit breakdown, though.
Yeah, it's the bullshit breakdown. We break down bullshit.
Little segue there.
Down all that
I love that you guys fuck with the song, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Dope intro, though.
Much love, brother.
But you guys asked me a while ago, have I ever been gone through discrimination or anything like that?
Oh, you've been doing on this. This is great.
I never had any of those issues. I was always told, believe it, growing up, like I was always told, and I still get told this to this day at times from some of my day ones, that they always call me the whitest black person. Like, now, which I find,
What does that mean?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that. Because it's like.
It's kind of fucked
you know what I mean?
up. That's
Exactly.
a racist
yeah,
statement.
I'm trying to find the best way to put it right now. Like,
I don't even understand the construct of race. Like, we're just all individuals as it is.
like I feel
We're
like
just
that's
sort of-
their way
yeah.
of like. I feel like that's their way of categorizing blacks as like Nuff said,
Yeah.
like thugs and
a well-behaved black
like,
man.
what's
a white black
yeah,
man?
like a well-behaved black, like you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, you're
because-
not acting the way I expect you to be
Yeah,
acting.
exactly.
That's
you know
not
what I mean?
cool. Yeah, I
'Cause
don't
I-
think that's so much race. It's just discrimination and judgment. Like
Yeah,
that's just
yeah, it's
thinking
not
you know
right.
someone before you know them.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
and I just feel like, because I talk properly, I have proper grammar, I can read and whatnot, I can write, I'm literate and whatnot. I'm on this damn podcast, you know what I mean? Talking
sir.
like this.
No,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I see absolutely no reason why anyone would think. Okay, that's just like saying like, well, wait, you're you can't be talking like that. You can't be feeling this
Yeah,
way.
you know
You're
what I mean?
black.
Like,
you can't be feeling this
my
way.
pants aren't sagging, I'm not walking around,
That shouldn't be the standard.
holding them up,
like,
you know what I mean? Like,
Stereotypes.
Yeah.
It's the
yeah,
biggest
exactly.
push in life.
That's what it is.
It's the
stereotypes.
same, but
yeah.
the conversation goes back to, but not everybody's like. It's only a handful of people, and white people do that too.
Mm.
It's not all fucking. I see white dudes sagging their pants at fucking Six Flags.
Yeah, and yeah,
Right?
And I hate it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not because no, that's for the blacks. I
Right,
hate it
right.
because it's dumb. Because pull your fucking pants up. Because
I
I can
agree.
see your entire ass and your underwear are dirty, and we're at a water park, and this is not.
Yeah,
cool.
to me in
Like, I don't
general,
like it.
it doesn't matter what race you are. That's just I don't like seeing.
Yeah.
that. Like I don't like
Like,
seeing that. Like,
Yeah, I can admit to my fair amount of judgment. If someone is really fat and they're in less clothes and it's public and like
Right.
especially if there's an odor, I'm gonna like be thinking of some really fucked up shit probably.
Oh man.
But I'm not okay. Not to get off topic. Not to get off topic. Because we're
Nicholas
talking about
hates
race.
fat people.
No. More to love.
Thank you.
No, I actually I was pulled up a bunch of tabs and I saw that there are 3 races technically. There is Caucasian, Mongoloid, and Negroid. Now, first off, it sounds fucking weird. I don't
It
like
does
how
sound
they.
weird, yeah.
It sounds like we're like organisms, and I guess some people think we are.
Exactly, like,
We are.
But yeah, I
Somewhat.
mean, it's basically just white, Asian, black, and every other. That was probably the most racist thing. I can't say all Mongoloids are Asian. That's definitely not cool.
Mongolia.
See, this
I
is a
get
problem.
messed up.
I think this is fine.
Why do we have to tiptoe?
Yeah,
Why do we
exactly.
have
I
to
think that
fucking
brings up a
tiptoe?
good point. It doesn't bring up, but I also don't want to be inaccurate because imagine people do care and they're like, "Hey, I'm not that," but at the same time, I've never met you, and even if you were looking
Talk
at me,
to
and
me.
you're like,
Educate
"Oh,
me. Don't fucking freak the fuck
yeah,
out of me.
It's
Right.
it's almost similar to say someone's like, "Hey, you look really Irish," and I'm like, I'm Italian." You know what I mean? Like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Right.
Like, I'm getting like angry at them. I don't know. I wouldn't think to do that, but I also understand that a lot of these issues are driven by ideals that I literally can't wrap my mind around anyway. Actually, I'm gonna do a little fun here. This article, Let's Stop Talking About Racism, all right, so Let's Stop Talking About Race in America and Have a Conversation About Racism was July 12, 2016, and the post they put up that says, enough already about racism. Racism is a thing of the past was January 31st, 2017. So literally a year later, they're like, all right, I think we're done with the racist thing. I think in the last year, it's been done. It's been solved. There's no more. It's
We've
out.
definitely solved racism.
Nah, man.
The first thing it says in this article is racism is dead. Too many black people are playing the race card. Affirmative action is unconstitutional and represents racism against white people. All lives matter. Political correctness is ruining America. Okay, so let's go off that. All lives matter
Okay.
versus
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
Can I say that being both races, right?
Right.
I've experienced a lot more racism towards me, openly towards me, from other black people than white people in my life.
Oh,
And a
wow.
lot of people think that's really strange.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, you just said the
curious to
same
hear.
thing. I'm definitely.
Right.
It's kind of weird because I'm just thinking like, Why though? You would think that'd be the opposite.
Like
you would think it'd be the
I'm
opposite.
literally not
Yeah.
black enough, and I am not white enough for most people. What is this?
I mean that asshole at Wawa with the fucking SS tattooed on his stupid bald head. Good. Honestly, I'm discriminating against him because I think he's an asshole. Personally,
Right.
I think anyone who possibly thinks like, oh, the cure to things I don't understand are killing everything. It's just like,
Yes.
Let me tattoo this onto my body.
yeah, it's not like a fucking virus. They just look different. Okay, psycho. So why don't you
Right,
relax and think about more, develop thought more than past like a fucking 5-year-old. Honestly, please.
Kill, destroy.
But no, I mean that definitely is surprising. The other thing is like I'm a white rapper, so I've been to a couple gigs where I've experienced a little bit of racism. Is it racism or is it hip hop is a primarily black thing and I'm white and I'm quote unquote trying it out, even though I was writing.
I think that's starting to change, by the way.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
slowly. I've been saying this for a while now. I always tell my people that I know that listen to rap and stuff. I always tell them white rappers on the rise, man. It's not just M anymore. He kind of set the tone, but there's a lot of white rappers entering. They're very lyrical and they're good. It's like it's still black dominant, obviously, but it's but white rappers are. Shoot, some of these white brothers, they can rap better than some of the black brothers. To be honest with you,
I can totally feel that. Like my favorite rapper nowadays is Action Bronson.
I love
Big fat white man.
Gotta
love
love
him.
Action Bronson, dude.
And he's one of the best lyricists and flex masters of this world. And he spits some raw bars and is actually a dope person. And he's built himself in the rap community.
yes,
Like he has 3 shows.
yeah,
He rapped about going to have 3 shows and he made that happen.
The other thing is he started as a chef, so like he already started in a lane.
had a little bit of a kickstart.
Yeah,
kinda
he already
like,
He
started.
was already
in his
cooking for
own
20
lane.
something
Right,
years
right.
and then
Yeah.
was just like, I
Like
like
rap.
rap.
Yeah.
But you see how
Fuck
weird that is because he's doing something already that's like, oh yeah, well he was a cook, so now he's rapping. Now it's excusable, as opposed to white guy wants to rap. Well, we'll see what he got first. Personally, I think anybody can rhyme words. Honestly,
No, that's true. That's
Anybody
true.
can rhyme words. Anybody can come up with an idea for a song. It's a matter of how good it is, I guess. A matter of how much time you put in and how much you want to do with that song, regardless. And color means dick in that situation, in my opinion. I think if you're gonna build a song, doesn't matter what color you are. If it's a great song, it'll get praised. There's music through hundreds of years of history that is still sampled today
Right.
because it was just beautiful piece of art and people decided that they wanted to use it. I don't think music or any facet of life should have some sort of like, well, if you're white you could do this, if you're black you can do this. I think the state of mind should be buried with the plantation scumbag owners that were there. The whole concept of what. Just think about it. These are the same people that put fucking coloreds only on fountains.
Yeah.
Like you can't drink the same water I drink. Like
crazy.
you know what I mean? Like as if it's another species. And for me to see nowadays that's still just kind of there, that it's a dumbed down, dim version of that. But not on a very major scale. Not enough where I would make a movement. Not enough where I'd be like, yeah, fuck Paul. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's what I
Like,
mean.
Paul's a dickhead. But other than fuck Paul, that would be the only movement I could think of. We're Snapchatting. Hey,
Fuck yeah.
hashtag bullshit breakdown. Yes, plug your Snapchats, yo. We'll add you on
I'll
Snapchat.
bet.
We'll have fun
I'm
stuff.
Romeo High Five, ROMEO HI number 5.
Hey.
Very cheesy.
And
but-
I am Hoodoo Panda, HOODOOPANDA.
Hey, and
Wow.
I'm Nick Nubs, Nub Life, NICK, NUBZ, NUBLIFE. Speaking of which, hoodies coming out relatively soon. I know you guys saw the samples.
I did. I liked them too. That was dope. Literally.
Thanks,
Tap,
man.
tap.
That's that good shit. That's that good shit.
I like
Thank you.
that.
No, I am not going to take this time to plug, but yeah, they're coming out soon. What is race, and why does it matter so much?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Dr. Benjamin Johnson, a clinical psychologist. Let's see. He says, I believe there was race is biological, social, and descriptive concept. It is by the very nature of discrimination. It is discriminating that is distinguished in some way by members in a particular group from another. Race is a classification system used to categorize human beings into large, distinct populations based upon anatomical, ethic, cultural, and other factors. Race is not, in and of itself, a measure of better or worse in any dimension. Such measures are a function of attitudes, biases, and even bigotry. Race is also better understood when one also realizes what it is not. Race is not in itself a religion, a nationality, or a social club. One cannot easily opt into or out of a race. Yet, many have found ways to skirt around obvious indicators of race, i.g. passing by changing one's name, hair, or body feature.
That's an interesting concept of being a white passing, black passing, Asian passing person.
When you say passing. What do you mean?
Okay, so example, Halsey. Halsey's like me. She's black and white.
She is?
But yeah,
I didn't even know that, yeah.
what'd you think she was?
I thought she was white.
Exactly, she's a white passing woman.
Just like Logic. I
Yeah.
thought he was white.
I still think Logic's white.
Okay, so
Crazy, man.
he said it in 8 songs, and people are like, "You're white."
He's like, like
Shut
yeah,
up.
you just touched on it. You touched about you clearly you're talking about biracial issues. You pretty much that's what you said just a while ago. Logic touches on that all the time. I don't understand. I mean, I'm a spectator, so but an outsider to this, but I don't really understand. I don't see what biracial issues people could really go through when you're black and white. But Logic, I mean, like I said, I thought Logic was white when I saw.
I just saw Jordan's face, and he was like, "Say what?
I mean,
Say what?"
I mean, no, I'm
I understand.
yeah.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Logic, I know he talks about it a lot, but I mean, I feel like he tries really, I don't want to.
He really wants you to know that he is multiple races.
Black. I think more so that he has black in him. I feel like he wants people to know.
Let me remind you.
Everyone knows that, because everyone that sees him believes that he's white. They're gonna believe, that's the first thing you're going to believe when you see him. But I feel like he tries so hard to like let you know that he's got that black in him, like that's a badge of honor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he wants that approval in rap that like, I'm part of the culture, not just
not just another white boy trying to do this shit or something.
Yeah, like this is genetics, or whatever you want to call it. Like,
you gotta rep what you what you feel is the best thing to rep about you. You know what I'm saying?
But no one's gonna treat Logic like no one's ever gonna say to Logic or.
No one's ever going to call Logic a black
you know what I mean?
rapper.
No one's going to view him as
never going to happen.
Exactly. Like
Interracial rapper.
Maybe.
Logic.
Yeah, look at J. Cole, look at Drake. They're black and white, but they're looked more as black people opposed to white people.
Yeah, also,
Wait, Drake's
Logic
black?
sounds
Yeah, he's
really
black and white.
white.
Yeah, his father's
if
black.
Logic sounded like Nas, that'd be a different story.
That's true.
But he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He sounds like me, and I sound really white. So there's just no way. If I was trying to tell people like, "Yo, man, I'm half black," they'd be like, I think you're lying.
Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you half black? Only in one ass cheek, I promise. No, I don't know. I feel like
Rocking the side donk.
I think honestly, if we're talking, does race matter in America? As far as the systems in place, now it's a whole other conversation because now we're talking about, is there racial bias in the justice system? I'd say so.
I think so.
Absolutely.
There's been enough videos. I've seen enough proof where I can say confidently that there is a heavy amount of people who go black before they think person, and that needs to fucking stop. And you
Yeah.
shouldn't
Why is
give
that
those-
a part of a sentence? Why is my homie right here, Glenn, a black person? Why isn't he just a person to me?
Because like this guy said, it's all about categorizing human beings. Because I guess in some way humans want a way to identify one another. And I guess that's how we're doing it. It doesn't need to be a judgmental thing because he is a darker skin tone. I am a whiter skin tone. You are a mixed skin tone.
Then
These
why
are
the
accurate
formality?
descriptions.
We're people that.
But it doesn't mean you are
cool with
you
people.
are. I'm not white like I personify every white person. I am a combination of every white person. You are a combination of every black. You are a combination of every mix.
No, like,
It's you're your own person. You happen to be this color, and it
Exactly.
means as much as your shirt color. Personally,
we humans. We all human beings. We just we're all different. Not everyone's the same.
human race.
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of
Human
people,
race.
a lot of people would agree with that. A lot of people I talk to, not many I see. I've only come across maybe a handful of people that I was like, "Yeesh, you still talk like that? Oh God, you missed the fucking memo, buddy. We have a
God
black
damn, Uncle
president,
Jimmy.
sir. You need to. I don't know if you realize that part, but yeah, the old times are dead and good. Our forefathers, as I've said before, while
Sort of
built a
scumbags.
wonderful country and all."
Yeah.
they happened to do it on the backs of people that later they call lazy. I'm not going to take credit for that because Dave Chappelle said that in his special, but I thought that shit was like fucking bars. I was like, yeah, damn right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I also understand people sometimes get mad because I'm white and I seem to, I don't know, feel similar. But like, what the fuck? It's unfair. Am I not supposed to see it's unfair?
Right.
No, I can't see past my white skin. There's just not a chance. Like, I don't know. It just seems nuts. One time I was doing a show. I'm not going to say where it was, but it was in New Jersey, and it wasn't exactly in a great neighborhood. I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
Before we were going to the show, I'd seen pictures online, and the pictures looked quite nice. So when we pulled up to this building that was like a ghetto ass bar, I went in a detective's car. It wasn't an actual detective's car. My friend at the time happened to have a car that looked exactly like a detective's car. And to put the cherry on top of my anxiety in this situation, not only did we pull up in a detective's car, but he had a pounding system in the back. I mean, this thing is fucking loud. You can hear us coming from the parkway. Okay, man. It's loud.
It's a lot of watts.
Yeah, it's a lot of watts. Very concerned about the watts.
Shit.
So we get there, and I'm immediately like, we're going to get back. The tires are going to be gone. Like, I'm just thinking of the worst case scenario. Anyway, so we get into this place. They're patting us down. I immediately start putting the clues together, like, this is not the place that I thought it was going to be.
Damn.
So we go downstairs into like the basement, and the place that I'd seen in the picture was the basement technically.
Oh, okay.
But the way that it looked was just like it was run down in person, and the fucking stage was like just raised tile, and it was chipped. Like it didn't look like the greatest venue, but it's whatever. Because honestly, hip hop doesn't look pretty sometimes, and I get that. I don't give a fuck, and I would like to go and just do the music anyway. I don't really give a shit. So anyway, so I go there. And I have my CD, and I assume this is all I'm going to need. So I go to the sound guy, and I'm like, hey, are you the sound guy? And he's like, I'm the DJ. And I was like, same difference, whatever, fine. so and I'm like, oh, okay, so you're the sound guy? And he's just like, I'm the D. And he's like getting kind of mad, and I'm just like, I don't know how did I get in this situation?
Not to cut you off, but why are you getting mad, though? Because to me, it's funny you said that, because DJs nowadays, are you really a DJ? I feel like
I'm a button presser.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, I feel like the button. I feel like you're literally just, because you could turn a couple knobs, it makes you like, an actual DJ. Like, to me, DJs back in the day were people that were actually like mixing the shit and actually putting in the work. Supposedly,
literally disc jockey.
Yeah, all you're doing is you're burning CDs and you're mixing. Yeah. You're doing some mashups.
You don't even need to burn them.
You say your name on the song 3 times.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good, like I've done shows where there was dudes on the mic like hyping up the whole set, and that was sick. Right. But this was not one of those shows. This guy was like, he was pissed off about the CD. I'm a sound guy, so I was like, all right, whatever. And then eventually I was like, so do I give you my CD? And he was like, yeah. So I gave him my CD, and I walked away. And to just paint the picture, since we are talking about race, I am one of like 3 white people in this whole room. So, see, I don't personally think it should be a fucking problem, honestly. No. But, whatever. And so, we're there. And not to say I was feeling like I wasn't really necessarily uncomfortable or anything. I was just kind of like annoyed about the sound guy. I was like, man, that guy really like talked to me like I was kind of a dirtbag. And I wonder if it's because I'm white. Because, it doesn't look like I would be exactly welcomed at a place like this. So anyway, I go up there and I do my shit, and when I'm done, he's like all cool with me, and the guy comes up and he's like, yo, yeah, you gotta come back and blah blah blah, and it was pretty interesting, and this is no bullshit. I actually
breakdown.
So I did the show.
Yeah. I love that plug every time we say bullshit.
Bullshit breakdown. Hashtag bullshit breakdown. Small class or bullshit breakdown. We made it to episode 3. But but anyway, so they were like, oh yeah, you gotta come back and all that. And when I first started, I would say they called my name. I went up on the tile stage.
Right.
And how'd that feel?
Well, I got on the stage, and as I looked up, turning from getting on the stage, I saw half the room start to walk out. Second that I got up. Mm. Yeah. Now, as a white rapper, I'm not surprised this is happening. Yeah, I know what I look like, so I'm not surprised. And anyway, so they're leaving, and I just started my shit, and I am not bullshitting. Okay, I don't think it would be cool to lie about a situation like this. Halfway through my set, I would say half of the crowd that left came back, and they were jamming, and I had a decent 30-something people in front of me.
That's solid.
Not bad. It was a small gig anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, I did all that. When I got off stage, they were all cool and buddy-buddy, and the headliner who went up was black, and he had 2 people stand up, and he was screaming at the crowd.
Oh,
it
wow.
It was very interesting.
I want to see you fucking shake that ass.
Yeah, something to that effect. And I remember the 2 girls got up, and then they sat right back down, and I was just like, oh my God. Dude, it was bad. It was bad to watch. But that was one time. There was other shows where similar things had happened. But I also, this is another big conversation, because I hear about kind of like both sides. I've noticed that when white guys say that, I've heard a lot that, black people can't be racist. This is a statement I've heard multiple times.
Black people can't be racist.
Black people can't be racist because
That's
it's
a silly
only,
statement.
But it's like a movement. It's not a one guy. Like it's a whole
I know
bunch of
it's
people.
such a silly statement.
I think it definitely. If we're talking about the concept of we brought them here, that I can get behind that. Like, yeah, no white person ever could be like, hey, you know what you did to my ancestors? No white man can ever say that ever.
Right.
So I understand that. But as far as like, black dude looks at me and thinks, business-minded douchebag who will fuck me the first chance he gets, and I look at him and think, oh, he probably fucking deals drugs or whatever. Like we're both wrong.
Right.
So
exactly.
so I don't know. I feel like we're both being racist. If we're really going on, well, if I'm white though, so it does. Mine cancels out. Like I don't really understand that either.
Oh my God, you're really stuck there. You're not. If you're a white person, you're not allowed to say if anything is racist, but you're also always a racist.
Yeah. Any assumption you make, you're
fuck?
racist. It's definitely a landmine field for sure. But at the same time, I also don't believe the tension is there unless you really are a little racist. Like
Right.
if you're looking at someone and they scare you, black or white, and you're showing that fear, I think that's natural. I don't think you can fight that. I think some people scare the fuck out of me. I have a friend who's a big dude who scares me. If he ever turned on me, that'd be the end of Nick Nubbs. Yeah. But no, but he's a great guy. He's a fucking heart of gold. But I know someone just passing him on the street may not feel that way. And I understand the frustration. I can understand how many times do you have to be like a good person for people to give you a fucking chance. But I think media, like I said, media is a lot to do with it. I've never seen more blatant racism than in like commercials and in fucking TV shows and stuff. If we're talking casting, if it's a low income neighborhood, you got to understand that it's not all blacks in low income neighborhoods. It's whites and blacks. Everybody's broke, and those are the lower tier and colored. There's no discrimination when it comes to being fucking in poverty.
Right.
So I don't know. As far as that goes, the systems are basically equal. As far as black guy opens the door for someone and someone goes surprising, then that's definitely shitty. You know what I mean? You can't. That's definitely a concept that I can understand people being like, that's not fucking cool. We need that sort of thinking out of our culture.
Right.
I understand the movements on that end. But as far as keeping the war going, so to speak, trying to sustain that tension, I don't know. It just seems unnecessary.
It sounds like a pointless fight.
What need? Oh, so like, you know what I mean? Like, when do you know you won? You know what I mean? How do you know? How do you know it's like, okay, officially people get it? Like how would you ever know?
I mean,
I was just looking into something. Sorry to cut off topic.
That's fine.
Relating back to black people cannot be racist. And I looked up a group because I remember watching a show called Hate Thy Neighbor on Viceland.
Oh, what a lovely title.
Yeah, it's a mixed gentleman from London named Jamali. He goes around interviewing different leaders in different extreme race viewed groups like KKK, all the different types of stuff out there.
That's what you mean.
And he meets a group of people, and they refer to themselves as Black Israelites.
Okay.
And they are 100% racist.
Oh yeah.
Against white people. They truly believe the white people is the devil. Yeah, thank you. White people are the devil.
From history, though, I can understand that point.
This group of people goes around The entire country. It's not just based out of one spot. I believe it started in New York, but it keeps going. They travel every single day promoting this message, literally yelling at people in the street that the white person is the devil, and they're like, turn in your copies of the Bible, throw it out. Anything with white Jesus, throw it out.
Okay, I see. Yeah, well, I mean, I've read a lot.
Everybody has their own extremisms.
While we're on the topic, because this is like a big one, is, you know, the race in the Bible also. It talks about slavery being almost condoned.
And then it goes and has to say, love thy neighbor as if they were yourself. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Black people can be like he said, absolutely, they can be racist. It's not a one-sided thing. It's just that's just the way it is. Some people, like, for example, like I saw a movie. It was one of Tyler Perry's movies. I forgot which one specifically that it was, but he said the mother in the movie, her daughter, who was black, was dating a white man, and she was afraid to tell her mother because her mother doesn't accept
white dudes.
Yeah, the white man, because of what happened with her husband, the mother's husband, was killed by a white man, I believe.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so so she felt some type of way.
Trauma.
It's just like with the cops, like because one white cop had an issue, and obviously maybe turned out to be racist or killed a black person, doesn't make all the cops bad. You know what I mean? That goes back to us being human beings. So you have those people like that, and doesn't speak for everybody to us.
I briefly touched on that in the last episode that we did.
Right.
I brought up that at the end of the day, if it's a cop, if it's a businessman, it's a black guy, it's a white guy.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the person.
Exactly. It's not exactly.
You yourself is held accountable, not your race, not whatever thing that you ally yourself with.
Exactly. Exactly.
The dude who got gunned down in the hallway wasn't black. The guy who got shot in the car that had his fucking baby in the back, he was black. I've seen videos of like a black family and a daughter getting into a confrontation with this like older white guy coming home from the bus stop, and her mom like calls the cops, and the cops come, and they're like talking to the white guy with definitely a lot more like patience than the mom. And she's like, yeah, he fucking put his hands on my son and did this and this, and the cops just like, all right, I need you to calm down, like just not listening to
what color were the cops, Nick?
The cop was obviously white, big surprise, and he's a fucking racist douchebag. And of course, he not only arrests the mom, but he arrests the daughter, and he puts them both on the ground, and he just, just exercises his bullshit force. And a lot of people think, like, watching videos like that, they just get infuriated. Like, this cannot be fucking tolerated. But the answer is not going to the street and burning down CVS. It's not the way to handle situations.
Right.
Like, we gotta have the conversation of like, okay, this man should have his badge taken away, and he should be put in jail for fucking murder.
Yeah.
Period. The end. He killed a man. That is the rule. Regardless, if you have a fucking PBA card, it annoys the shit out of me. You have this like get out of jail free card. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, you got a hit and run, and we're speeding, going fucking 105 on the parkway. Well, but a cop. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, just be safe, and then you go.
No, a cop. Now, is that mostly a white thing?
Yeah, that could be another point of the conversation. Personally, I've met a bunch of cops, and other than one time, it was not very pleasant. Like it was, one time was a guy who genuinely had my back and seemed to really care about the situation and the details and actually wanted to be just. The other ones just assumed because either I have tattoos or I have long hair or whatever the fucking profiling case is, that I must be a scumbag. Maybe it's my face. I was one time at a courtroom talking with my mom, and everyone was talking like, everyone's like talking before the fucking, the almighty judge comes in, right? So I'm just sitting there. Yeah, which is another system I can laugh at. But anyways, I was talking to my mom, and I was like, they make these tickets so expensive, and it's like, I guarantee it's bullshit. I'm talking to her, and this cop must have heard me from like across the room, and he fucking makes a beeline right towards me. Bear in mind, I'm not the only one talking. And he's like, hey, you can wait outside, and then you won't get any of your shit done, or whatever he said. You know what I mean? So then it's dead silent. Now
Fuck you.
They walk away, and literally the other people are laughing because they're like laughing because they know they were talking too. But what I said, they were laughing at because I guess I said it kind of not loud, but like enough where they heard me.
Right.
And but all I did was just say that the tickets were expensive. They are.
They are expensive.
What do you want from? And it's $33.33 to come to court. It's just all one big
and
dick
court
wave, and it's
fees
aggravating.
shit, yeah.
And I'm not black, but I can only imagine that if I had been through the situations I'd been through in court, and I was black, I probably would have got hit harder. I probably would have got more fines because when I'm sitting in the courtroom and I'm waiting to be seen and judged on my own, and I see everybody else's cases, I definitely notice that the blacks definitely get harder hits, and that's bullshit.
Right. So I take it you believe in that. So I guess that goes pretty much to white privilege is what you're pretty much kind of.
I think in the justice system, and when it comes to rich white money. They don't think the way they should. Period.
They get the best shit.
Yeah, but they look down.
They
on
get to
people.
launch their shit into space.
The lawyers.
Well, Elon Musk, if that's who you're referring to, I doubt is a racist. He seems like an open-minded guy. I think if someone like that was running that company and was just like, wait a minute, they're voting? I think that'd be a big fucking problem. We usually have like quotes or something like
probably
that. We
buy
don't have
and
any
afford me.
real. We've just been just researching. What's up?
He could probably buy and afford me like 5 times over. That's okay.
Yeah, that's pretty
Right,
fucked up that we bought people in the first place. It's really fucked up. And the argument, I've seen a lot of different arguments. Well, that wasn't the only case of slavery, but that's why we have black people here. So you can't act like it's not.
Right.
It's not at least a little relevant to the situation. Not to mention the KKK is still out there being just like, I'm telling you, whites are better. I don't know what everyone's talking about.
Can we cover one of the most trendy topics that we have in the country? Well, let's talk about our president.
Oh, Donald Trump.
Oh,
I was
Donald
literally
Trump.
about to say, oh, you mean Donald Trump? Like, I was literally
You
about
know
to
I
say
mean Donnie Trumpet.
Donnie Trump. Okay, so I'm going to look up right now racist quotes from Donald Trump. And let's just see exactly.
KKK.
Let's just see exactly how bad this guy is. Because here's the thing. I've read a lot of different stuff about Donald Trump, and it's very hard to find anything that's actually true. Everything is fucking nonsense almost. Because you look into it and you're like, this isn't even facts. They're just like, well, you can only imagine what he meant when he said this. Like, that's not an article.
Do me a favor, Nick. When you're about to read these, please, just for people not here, just tell them what website you find it on. Because that matters.
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%.
The source.
Okay, so this is the New York Times. So they're always, I think, have they been a fan of Trump? I feel like every media outlet's just been wiping their
Well,
ass.
he's from
with
New
him.
York.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would think. Okay, he began his 2016 presidential campaign speech with Mexican immigrants are criminals and rapists.
Yeah.
Off to an excellent start, Donnie.
I love
that was
I love the Mexican people, okay? They're
the
great.
greatest. Everything's
They're
great.
the greatest. Their tacos are delicious. Trump Towers.
We're going to make a
best.
wall. It's going to have bricks. It's going to be the best bricks.
It'll have Taco Bells every single wall.
Yeah, because I love Taco Bell. I love the Mexican people. You would say some shit like that.
Yeah,
that's 100%.
That's not right at all.
Yeah, no, he's a douchebag. Trump said, can you call the president a douchebag?
We just did.
Yeah, freedom of speech. Okay, Donald Trump, an extremely credible source, has called my office and told me that Barack Obama's birth certificate is a fraud. I don't know how that ended up on this list. Let's see what else we got.
All of that when he was going against him, trying to run against Barack Obama.
He's
that
always
was very
bashing.
fun. That's when a lot of the racist bullshit came out.
He still bashes Barack. He feels like he's always finding a way to
Leave that man alone.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
his job is done. He's clocked out. Leave him
Barry
the fuck
was a
alone.
beautiful
Yeah,
man. He
yeah.
did a lot for us.
I agree.
He heard us a lot too.
Here is a title to an article, and this just opened up a little bit of frustration. Trump isn't alone. 5 racist quotes from modern U.S. presidents.
Lego.
So now we have someone. Is this like a defense thing? Okay, so President Donald Trump alleged shithole countries remarks during a bar. What the fuck? Get out of here.
Is that an ad?
No, it's a video of the president talking. So yeah, it's an ad. All right, let's.
That was a loud twit.
A loud twit.
A loud Twitter.
Being a fucking twit.
Yeah, that's him. He's a loud fucking twat.
All right. So in 1954, President D. Eisenhower told Supreme Court Chief Justice Earl Warren, white Southerners are not bad people.
Yeah.
All they are concerned about is to see their sweet little girls are not required to sit in school alongside some big, overgrown Negroes. While discussing this desegregation of schools. Jeez, he's not completely wrong.
No, not in that.
I would disagree.
No, I tend to like big, oversized Negroes.
No, but I'm saying he's right about the white, some of the white Southerners. I think he's referring to the rednecks.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the rednecks not wanting. Yeah, because that's probably the black people view them as probably the most. When they think of white people that are racist, that's the number one kind of white people that black people view as the racist kind. They always think it's the rednecks, the rednecks, Southerners, so to speak.
I mean, I would agree in the southern area
in Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, in the southern area. You were born in Georgia.
No,
so
just rednecks. You're not a redneck though.
No, but he's probably
you darn tootin'.
There's so many things that are like, Donald Trump is a racist, and I click the article and they can't give me like one decent fucking quote, and I'm like, come on, man, like if he's really a racist, it should be easy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Every article, it starts with like 18 paragraphs of them being like, and you wouldn't believe the racism. It's just like, well, can I fucking see it? Like,
let me know about it. I want to know.
It's like, it is vulgar. Long-standing tendency to make racially charged remarks. Which ones? I just want to know which ones. I just want to, it's just saying he supported a white supremacist on Twitter, which I did see that. Fuck him for that.
Leader of the KKK backed his campaign.
Yeah, you can't ignore that sort of stuff. Everything is coming up as shithole countries. Like, I literally just want to know.
Mike Pence is literally Satan.
Okay,
no.
Here are 13 examples. 13 examples of Donald Trump being racist. Now, there's got to be some substance in this fucking article.
15?
13.
100?
He claims to have a great relationship with the blacks, which is totally something a normal person would say.
I love the blacks.
Let's see. Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump may have failed to disavow the Ku Klux Klan in late February, but he'll have to know he is not a racist. In fact, he claims to be, quote, the least racist person you have ever met. Why am I not surprised? Now, this is something that, like, here we are with the HuffPost again. Can I believe these people?
Huffington Post.
Can
we trust them?
Can we trust the Huffington Post?
Yeah, I don't think that's just the easy thing for certain people to say, just to say that. I'm just playing devil's advocate a little bit, but to say that Trump is a racist, like from a black aspect, from a black person, you don't think sometimes that's just the easy thing to just say?
I completely agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
looking at both sides, you could see that there's people who want you to believe he's a racist, and there's people who are like, no, not a racist.
Like, I believe that Trump, like the black people that voted for Trump, because there were some blacks that were in his voting when he became president. But I think those black people that voted for him are people that can relate to him. Like, I think it's the people, the people that are, white collared without actually being white. But, the black people that have money and that are, in superior offices and whatnot, people that are in his circles. Just because he doesn't, I'm not saying it's right, but, because he doesn't pay too much attention to the poor black people, so people that are like on Section 8 and stuff like that, and in the poverty section, black people particularly, people want to call him racist because of that. But that's just my opinion, at least. I don't know.
No, I mean, I would totally agree. Honestly, I feel like we've definitely. I believe we should probably go around with our final thoughts. I think we. No, Jordan, you don't think so?
I have. I wanted to save it. It is a big one. It's a doozy. But it's an opinion on a word.
Oh. I think I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Do we say it? Like, how did we say it?
Fuck yeah, I'm going to say it.
You can only say it halfway.
No. I'll say half of the first and half of the end.
I'll just do it.
No, really, in all forms and manners. What do you guys think about the word nigger?
I don't think it's my place to say ever. That's what I think.
You're still a person. You still can have an opinion.
No, my opinion is that I don't need to say any word. So why would that upset me? You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I don't. If I were to say it,
you got to be out.
why? What would I be accomplishing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, well, a person shouldn't be calling.
And I mean, the hard ER that is the most offending one.
Hard
Everywhere
ER.
down to me calling my homie my nigga.
Right.
All of it. What does it mean as a word?
All right. So here's my opinion personally.
Please.
I don't think you should be calling a white person shouldn't call a black person the hard ER. Calling a black person a nigger. I feel like it's not hard to avoid. So if you hear a white person call a black person that, they're truly they're either racist or they just completely heartless. But they shouldn't say that word. It's not hard to avoid. Now, however, you said the nigga. I have a bunch of white friends that say that word.
Absolutely, so do I.
I don't view it. See, I have a different viewpoint on it because I didn't grow up I wasn't on the field. You know what I mean? I wasn't with the crops and the plantations and stuff back then. So, when I got my friends, when they say my nigga, it's like, we bros. Like, that's how I look at it. We just bros. I don't take it seriously or whatnot or anything like that. But
some white dudes dive right in and they don't even think they shouldn't say it. And for me, I'm always sitting there like, oh God. Like, whenever someone's just going off and it's a white dude and they're just like blasting it, they're just constantly saying it. And they're always, I just think that's where it's like annoying. It's like, all right, first off, the history of the word. Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's like later if we all just casually start calling each other cunt. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, it'd just be weird.
Well, then we're Australian.
Yeah, that's a good point. Honestly, Australia does.
No, you're just a fucking cunt.
You're a fucking twat. But no, all right. Here's what it comes down to. As far as my opinion on the word itself, I think the word itself started as a fucking ugly, disgusting thing to bring people down.
Right.
And as people do, black people turned it into a positive and made it now. And honestly, I'm fine with saying homie. I don't need to say anything else.
He's right. Yeah, you're right.
Friend, your name. There's all sorts of alternatives.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that.
But
especially as a white rapper too. I've
I'm
been
glad you
more
said
than
that,
exposed to that, and it's now okay. People are doing it, and it blows my mind.
I'm glad you said that too because we cover rap and hip hop a lot on this podcast. So
we do. Come on, man.
Hip
We're
hop
music people.
It's the most popular genre in the world as we speak. You hear the word nigga all the time, and white people are listening to rap. So you're gonna hear more probably than ever. From hearing in the future. So
definitely heard it more now than ever before when it comes to as far as my lifetime, I've never seen white people so confident.
Yeah, very comfortable. But
I mean, honestly, it's not my position. It's definitely not my word. And I don't know. I think if I'm around a white dude and he's saying it, I also don't think it's my place to be like, hey, don't say that.
Right.
I'm glad you feel that way. There are a lot of people out there who are like, hey, man, you can't say that. Well, who are you to get offended?
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm with, like, say, Glenroy, or with you, or regardless, if I'm out somewhere and someone were to say that to you, there are no words. I'm fucking them up, period. Like, we're fighting.
Thanks, man.
No, man, I got your back. But that's what it is. Like, that's what it is. It's just an insulting thing. And unless you're saying it in a non-insulting way, which if someone says it to me, I'll be like, yeah, but I'll still respond with homie because I don't need.
Yeah.
It's not like, I don't know, the whole concept that, well, why can't we say it? You know damn well why we can't.
You know why.
Come on. You're going to act like we don't. I mean, given a lot of these kids that are coming out, a lot of these white rappers. Oh, got a message.
Don't worry about it.
But hey, it's also where you're bred. The white people that. A lot of white people are, they grow up and they're friends with black people and they're, they come up and they're just around that word and, they got comfortable after a certain point. Now, if a guy like Donald Trump or someone like that is completely on the other side of that culture comes out and says that, of course, a guy like that is going to get backlash because he has
directly in the public eye.
Yeah. Because
pretty sure I said this.
He's got no backup story to make his case, so to speak.
First, if you're the president, let's just while we're on this topic, if you're the president and you are not fully aware that black people are really, really, really pissed off, you got to come out. You got to address the situation. Listen, the great leaders don't ignore problems.
No, you don't. You don't.
They come out and they solve them. And if you are trying to solve them on Twitter by sending blast posts about Kim Jong-un, you're not solving shit.
Not at all. You make shit worse.
And it's aggravating, and everything is getting worse. Exactly.
Yeah.
We, the people, are one. Regardless if you are from a different country, regardless if you want to kill me because I happen to be born in America, regardless of those situations, we are the same thing. And the second that people realize that and they express love instead of hate, we will be on the foot forward towards a better future, which has nothing to do with, oh, well, you're black, so you can't do X, Y, and Z, and you're white, so you must do X, Y, and Z. Right. It's absolute nonsense. Everyone lives a different life. I will say this, the wealthy in the world, the real wealthy, there is not one black dude I can think of that is that level of wealth. But that is because money that old comes from years and years ago where you would have never had a chance to get it in the first place. So will there be hope later? Yes. Is there hope now? Yes. Because now is later. Because we have officially bridged that gap of no longer running from the conversation and actually having it. Right. And that's why I wanted to do this one as the third episode, because we start releasing them after this one.
This may be the best one so far, to be honest with you.
Thank you, brother.
I've had a lot of interest in this. I do have a final piece of interest in it.
Yes. You know, Jordan wants to bring us out on a note, so you do that, and we'll do our final notes.
Okay, so... I think Kendrick Lamar really said it right, leading back to my previous statement or question about our feelings on said word. But you got to look at the Ethiopian root, Negus, a word that I will have tattooed on my body because I support every part of my past, my background, and what I am. It is for a ruler. It is someone who is used. It's a king. It's king. Definition is a king.
So the irony.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So it's a word that I love. It's a word that I hate. You know, I've had it thrown at me everywhere you can serve it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I still think of myself. I'm not a nigger. I'm not a nigga. I'm a negus.
You're a Jordan.
Yeah, man.
And you're a beautiful Jordan at that. And so are you, Gunnar.
Oh, you're a beautiful Jordan as well.
You're a beautiful Jordan. Beautiful Jordan, Glenroy. Yeah, so we're going to go around our final notes. Glenroy, race in America. Doesn't matter.
Race in America. Well, obviously, we still have a lot of conflicts. There's a lot of stuff to clean up. You know, not everybody, but, you know, there's still those people out there, clearly. I just got to say, you know, you shouldn't judge someone by the color on their skin. I think we all need to come together, you know, and just talk to one another, for starters, like my man Jordan touched on a while ago, and just, you know, lean on one another. That's all I really got to say.
100%.
Nothing hard in there.
Communication is absolutely necessary if you really want to grow. Jordan.
Avenue Q has a song, Everybody's a Little Bit Racist. And it's true. Everybody has their own little stereotypes that they just immediately associate in our heads. We've brought up several of them in this this podcast.
There's a lot of stereotypes, man.
Once we get past letting the small stuff pass, you know, we need to let the small things so we can focus on the bigger things going on in the world. It's present, but I'm happy to say with, like, open minds, like, in this room are growing. And people who listen, we hope that can grow with this and understand from multiple races in a room talking about the biggest topic.
Yeah. Just think about our forefathers and
exactly
even just this conversation.
Exactly. It blows their fucking minds, and it blows my mind. That it's still a problem. I think that racism is something that can be slowly phased out, but it is still present.
Yeah,
I will say that as far as it goes, this is as a great time as it ever has been to have this conversation. That we are now at a point where we know that TV used to be really racist and media used to really perpetuate that image. Now it's doing it less. Now you really do see diversity, and you see it a lot more common, and it's now honestly become just not cool to feel that way.
Right.
So the people that even were on the fence are kind of being pushed in the other direction, and that's where these movements. So they did their job. They came to do something huge, and I believe that they are.
It's acknowledged.
They've made a dent.
Right.
In order to fix it entirely, though, is love and peace, and understanding that judging one another is never the way to go. Right. Also, I do want to throw this out there because I am a giant fan of comedy. Throughout the years, I've seen a lot of comedians touch on such topics, and really, even in the 90s and the 80s, this was a conversation that was outwardly at least awkward enough where people could laugh about it at comedy shows.
Right.
And we're getting to a point now where you brought up a good point about being offended. Being offended has now become more important than,
that's law now.
Yeah, if you're offended, that's like, okay, things need to change now. And I would say, really, if you're offended by the history, that makes sense. I'm pretty disgusted when I hear about it myself. If you're offended by someone who believes that people are lesser, even though there's no proof for that, then again, that's pretty disgusting. But unless you're a real douchebag, you're probably not thinking stuff like that. You're probably living your life just like everybody else and hoping this stuff eventually just goes away and we all can get on the same page and love one another. So my final note is, does race matter in America? Yes, in systems that I think in time will eventually realize that they can't keep getting away with it. I think eventually enough heat brews up, enough riots happen, people start watching what they say, watching how they sentence, watching how they judge a situation. I think eventually they have to grow or they're pretty much outcasted by society. It's pretty much the way it goes. But yeah, this has been a wonderful bullshit breakdown. Episode 3. Everybody get their plugs at the end. Jordan.
Yay. Hey, so as always, check out Stateside Fallout on Facebook. But also, be on the lookout for a band known as Thick Cug, THICCKUGG. We are on the rise.
This is not a joke.
It is not a joke.
Thick
we
Cug.
will be penetrating the music scene.
Double penetrations.
Hey,
Glenroy,
nothing sexual about
what
this.
do you got, Bruin? You got anything coming?
Yeah, man. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at New Breed. My SoundCloud link is also on there. You can check out my latest music. New music coming soon as well. And I got a show February 16th, next Friday, up in Secaucus.
Hey.
Yeah, so check that out, man. 2008.
Support your boy.
That's right, 2018, man. Nothing but paid gigs, man. No more.
We ain't playing.
We can
this
touch
year.
on that too one
Can
day.
he get a payday?
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
appreciate the plug, brother.
That's right. That's right, man.
That's excellent. All right, yeah, you already know it's nicknubs.com. We got music videos coming out, merchandise, all sorts of shit. We're not going anywhere. You guys have a wonderful night. It is 2:07 a.m. This grind don't sleep. Bullshit breakdown. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Gotta break down all this bullshit.